Okay, so I'm going to pick up where I left off on the engine block in our class on Thursday night. And so the next feature that we want to do, if you look on page 267 where they say base extrusion, I'm just going to select the top plane. I'm going to say extrude boss. I'm going to go normal 2. And I'm going to go ahead and create a center rectangle at the origin. And I'm going to pull this out there where it isn't going to snap to anything. And then I'm going to smart dimension it. This edge is going to be 5.5. And that edge is going to be 4 inches. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to put the fillets in. These are 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to touch each corner. Hit check. And now I'm going to go ahead and extrude it. And again, I'm going to go to ISO view. Make sure I see which way it's going. The thickness is 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and now I have my base. The next thing they say is to do the intakes. And again, I'm basing what I see in front of me, this ISO view, on the top right corner that I'm looking at. So I'm going to create, this first one on this face here. And if you look at section AA, you can see how far these things stick out, which is 2.15 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start at the right plane. I'm going to say extrude boss. I'm going to go normal 2. And again, I'm going to use my center rectangle to make this feature. And again, I'm going to be careful not to snap to anything. So I'm going to draw this a little small at first. I'm going to smart dimension it where this little face is 1.75 by 1.5 high. So this is 1.75. This is 1.5. And its center point, just pull that out of here, is 3.1 inches. Okay, so that captures that particular portion of it. Next, I'm going to do a center rectangle, and I'm going to just put that there for the moment. I'm going to add relations. Did it again. I have to not highlight anything before I hit add relations. I'm going to add relations. I'm going to grab that line and that line, and I'm going to say collinear. And that stretches my rectangle up to where I want it to be. Now I can trim entities. I'm going to use power trim, and I'm just going to come in there and run over that. And let's see, there's a bunch of fillets in here, and so I'm going to go ahead and add those. The first fillet is 0.1, and it's in these 2 corners. I'll check. And I want to create another fillet. And these fillets are going to be, let's see, where did I find them? It says 1/4 inch, yeah, 1/4 inch over on the other view. 5. Now I'm going to put those in these corners. Now I can exit sketch, and I'm going to go to ISO view, make sure, yep, that's pointing the right way, and I want this to go 2.15 inches. Check. Alright, so that's on the right side, and then on the opposite face, and again I'm going to come from the right plane. I'm going to do extrude boss, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to hit it again because I actually want the other side, not the side that I just did. So I want to flip over there, and that's the correct side that I want to see. And this one, you know, there's no you know, little post as if it's setting on a post. It's just that square. So to do this one, again, I'm going to draw it, and I'm going to draw it kind of small because, again, I just don't want it to snap anything, and I'm going to smart dimension it to where I want it to be. So this one happens to be 1.75 by 1.75, so that's a little different than the first one we drew. And again, I'm going to dimension this from the bottom, and this is at 3.225. So again, it's a slightly different height. I'm going to put in my fillets of 0.25. Check. And now I can go ahead and exit sketch. And this time I gotta flip it, but it's still the 2.15, so I hit check. And there is that one. So that takes care of those two features. So we've taken care of the intake mount and the exhaust mount, and now we want to do the cylinder bore. And the cylinder bore is going to be 2.75, you know, 0.02, and minus nothing. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and cut this from the bottom. You could cut it from the top, it doesn't matter. I like doing all this stuff from, you know, one datum plane, so that's just personal preference. Any way you want to do it is fine. So I'm going to put in 2.75, check. And this one I've got to say bilateral because it's going to be +2 and minus nothing. So it's not symmetrical, it's bilateral. And so I say check. Now I exit sketch. Flip. Long. Check. And there is my bore. Okay, again, if we refer to 267 and see what they'd like us to do. Right now they want us to do the mounting holes. And the mounting holes are just a simple 397 through hole. And they appear to be, okay, so they're dimensioned as to where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to select this top face because when I drill them, I don't want to drill through any fins or anything like that. So I'm going to do an extrude cut. And I'm going to, I'm just going to draw one. And I'm going to intentionally put it somewhere that it just isn't going to snap to anything. And that's going to be one circle. I'm going to put in a couple of center lines. Okay, so that's to mirror my sketch when I get it the way I want. Smart dimension. Okay, so this hole is 397. and its dimension, and this is why I put in the center lines, is I'm going to put in that, oops, selected the plane by mistake. Smart dimension, I'm going to select, there's my center line, that guy, and now I can put in 3 inches, and then I can do the same thing with this center line. I'll grab that, grab my circle, then I'll pull this way and I'll make sure it is 4.5. Okay, check. And now in my sketch I'm going to mirror entities, and I'm just going to mirror that entity, and I'm going to mirror it about first this. So let's check, and then I'm going to mirror again this one and this one, and I'm going to mirror it about that center line. Okay, and I'm going to just say through all. That's in the correct direction. And so now I've got those 4 holes. So, you know, there's lots of ways of doing those holes. You can do one and mirror the feature, or, you know, whatever you want. So it's not real critical how you do that. The next thing are the screw holes that go into what would be the intake mount. So we'll go ahead and do those. And since there aren't any dimensions on, oh no, I take that back, that's 1.25, and that's a 1/4 inch, so that adds up. You know, it does work out that those mounting holes are actually at the center points of all the little radius arcs. So we can actually just create the hole and snap them to the center of those arcs, and we don't have to dimension it. Okay, so the whole call out is basically a 1/4 28 fine pitch. So let's just go to Hole Wizard and tapped hole 1/4 28. 1/4 28. Blind. And these default settings are pretty much what shows up in the thing. So I'm not gonna change it. It has that drill depth as 607. This default 679. I'm not gonna bother to change that. I'm just gonna leave that as is. But then for positions, you know, the face I want to select is this one, and then I'm going to rotate to a right view so I can look at this straight on. And again, I'm just going to grab every one of these little center point targets because the dimensions just work out to be there. So I'm not going to make this any more difficult than it needs to be. And then if you look at the other side, it has the same call out. So if I rotate this around and I say Hole Wizard, all my same, well, let's check. All these same picks should be in here. Yeah, blind, and all the rest. So all I got to do is say positions. I'm going to select that face, and this time I'm going to have to pick the left face. And again, I'm just going to snap to all these positions because that's how the math works out. Okay, so that's how you create the holes on both those sides. And then now we're going to do these holes that go into the intake and to the exhaust. So let's start with the intake. So what we're going to do is an extrude, no, an extrude cut, and we're going to select that surface. I'm going to go normal 2. And yeah, I'm just going to do, you know, a circle and do this. You know, this could be done like a counter bore, but I'm just going to do it, you know, this way. And again, so I want 3/4 through. And this is also going to be at that 3.1 height. And I'm going to say up to next, check, and then just look on the other side. Okay, I got a hole there, but I don't have a hole on the other side, so up to next worked properly. Next I'm going to do the counter bore, which is a depth cut, and again I'm going to select this face. I'm going to do an extrude cut, and I want to go normal 2. I want to draw my circle, and I'm going to snap to that same circle and draw a larger one. I'm going to smart dimension, and I'm going to make it 1.01. Check, check, exit sketch. This one is going to be blind, and I'm going to do it to a depth of 1/8 inch. 0.125. Check. And let's look in ISO view, make sure it's going the right way. Yes, it is going the right way, and check. Okay, so there is our counter bore. So that's looking correct on that side. Let's go see what we got to do on the other side. Rotate this around. Okay, so now I want to do a 1 inch through. So again, extrude cut. It's going to be on that face. It's going to be 1 inch. And this has to be 3.225. Exit this sketch, and I want to do up to next, check. And again, always look to make sure that, yep, it looks right on that side and it hasn't done anything to the other side. So that's all fine. And now the counter bore on that one. Again, I need to do extrude cut. Just going to grab that surface. Draw a circle. And snap to the same circle, just a little bigger. Smart dimension. And this is going to be 1.26. And its depth is also 0.125. And so there it is over there. So now we have those intake and exhaust ports. Now we have this intake vent hole, and you can see that in the bottom middle view. Let's see, and that one will go up to next. So I'm just going to grab this bottom face. I'm going to say extrude cut. I'm going to go normal 2 and watch which way this flips. Okay, so that's my exhaust port over here, or intake port over here, and that's where I want my hole. So I'm going to draw the hole, and I'm just going to make sure it snaps to that plane. I'm going to draw a little oversized so it'll be easier for me to grab when I dimension. So I want to dimension this, and it is a 375 hole as shown in the bottom right view. Oops. Oh, nuts. That thing snapped. So let me just delete it. Redraw the circle. So that's the dangerous thing, is when you got so many things, you know, going on in a view, and this thing wants to snap to stuff, and that makes it really tough. And so its dimension is actually 1.75. So that puts it over there. Hit check, exit sketch. And this is going to go up to next. So it should end at that intake port and not go up through the roof. So when we look around, there it is on the bottom, but it hasn't gone through the roof, so we've defined that properly. Okay, so that was that little vent hole, and now we want to chamfer all the or the 2 main holes, and to find that chamfer dimension, it's if you look in section AA, it's 1/8 inch chamfers, and so we just select chamfer, change that to 0.125, and we select that edge, and we select that edge, and hit check. And so we've chamfered those holes. Let's see. Oh, you know, I didn't get the holes at the top, so let me do that. Okay, so the mounting holes at the top, those are 5/16 24s. So I'll go to my hole wizard, and I will change this to a 5/16 24. And let's see what these dimensions are, 834 and 625. Okay, so these defaults stayed the same, so that's good. And then for my position, you know, these are going to end up, you know, right at these center marks. All I have to do is hover over this arc. Come on, give me my target. Where's my target? Now, you know what, I'm going to snap to that then, because it's the same thing. Oh, I got to select the face. Duh. That's why I'm not getting that target. One. Point. 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 Check. Okay, and then it says round all edges. Well, I'm going to change the material while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget to do that. And I want it to be cast alloy steel. So there it is there. Apply. Close. Let's see what the radius should be to break all of these edges. You know, frankly, I'm not concerned about that, so you know, if you hit save as and then make this engine block with your initials. I'm good. I don't care that you break all those corners, as that is not so critical. So anyway, that's that part, and hope this helps.